Good morning, good morning, good morning. Mississippi Survivor here in this thing. I don't even know where to start here. But we're going to get this thing kicked off. This is day 3 of In the Dark. But to go along with this little tricky piece of information, now it's in the dark and it's cold, as you can see from the dress attire. Uh, so it threw me for a loop. And this is what I mean. I tell you guys all the time. You gotta be prepared. You never know what curveball is gonna come next. You don't know. You have no clue. You don't have a clue. No? I don't know. I just, for some reason, I just keep in my mind New Orleans when they had Hurricane Katrina, things like that. It kind of, it bothered me because I'm like, hey, well, they had the storm and most people were scared of the storm. And the storm is not what wiped the people out, wiped a lot, so many people, caused so many people, It was more or less after when the dams broke. So, you know, I don't know the exact number or whatever that case might be. I don't know. But I do know it was a lot lives lost after the fact because the dam broke after the fact. I'm like, wow. So I'm saying it to say this. When 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 this started for me, it was hot outside. Even yesterday, it was nice, pleasant. Then last night, some type of gorilla came and dropped this temperature to 42 degrees. It's 42 degrees right now. And you know how this works. If it's cold outside like that, it's going to be even colder inside because your house is going to hold the temperature, which I guess would be good for my refrigerator, which I haven't ran in a couple of days. Today is day 3. I am going to have to uh, plug up my refrigerator to my solar during the day, sometime during the day. Whew. I'm gonna have to plug up to it sometime today in order to get it to get that temperature drop back down in the refrigerator. And then I'm starting over again because the drink is cool, but it's not cold, and I don't want to lose a refrigerator and a freezer full of food, and that's why I need Miss Danye to help me with this as soon as I get this canning thing together. Definitely want her to help me perfect this canning thing. Have to, because at this point, I wouldn't care about the refrigerator or the freezer. And if you're going to run the refrigerator and the freezer, and you don't have your power is out, and you're going to do an all solar application, make sure you have plenty of battery storage. This is not a game, people. I smile, I laugh, but I'm gonna be honest. Some of y'all won't make it. You wouldn't make it. So, first of all, you have to have the right attitude to even deal with this, because being a preparer and let me reverse it. Let's back this up. Not even that. Let's back up. In this situation right here, you have to have the right mindset, and you can't be lazy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you don't have the power from the grid, you are on a time limit. It's not the same as getting up when your power is on, flipping the switch and doing what you got to do and then leaving. Like now, I want to already be gone working. You know what I mean? Because I got to make money too. But you can't. When you get up in the morning, you got to disconnect the stuff that you have running on your solar so it doesn't burn your batteries, and then take that stuff, all that stuff off of there. All the stuff that you use at night, all your smaller batteries, all your flashlights, all that stuff there. You got to bring all that stuff in the other room. Well, that's how I'm doing it. You got to bring all that stuff up to where it's going to be charged at what charging station and get it all plugged up and start charging and stuff. All this stuff is going to have to be charged so you can use it for the night application that's coming again real soon because it's daylight saving time. It's not something that's gone. So now we're back in daylight saving time, which make your time for light even shorter. So that means you need to get in here, get your stuff, get it charged up, and it takes a while. Depends on what you're using. Some of this stuff takes most of the freaking day to charge. You gotta let this stuff charge, then pull everything off the solar and shut it down and let your solar just charge by itself. If you don't have a generator or something of that nature, that way you can go over into the dark time, then no. And this on the regular. This ain't the end of the world. This is on a regular. This regular basic stuff. You will need. You don't even need a big generator. Your solar can handle the business. All you gotta do is if you can get a small. Listen to me. For the people that don't have a whole lot of money, even for the people that got money, because they got money because they save money. So listen to this. You do not need a generator big as a car. You don't. If you got solar and you got a nice battery backups, I said nice battery backup. I did not say solar array on the top of your house. I didn't say that because your solar array is useless while it's dark. So I didn't say that. I said a backup battery in your home. If you got a nice size backup battery bank in your house, all you need is a small tailgate generator. If you got you a small tailgate generator and you got a split off of inverters, I didn't say a ridiculous size. Now, one of my inverters is big because I want to run bigger things, and like the refrigerator or the freezer or something like that. But you don't have to have an inverter that's ridiculous. Somewhere around about 500, 600, maybe 8. That's about it. And you can run all of your appliances around through here. Most of the stuff that's in the house, I say for like TVs, you can run that. I know you can run it because I just did it, so I know. But it is, and you run that. I mean, that's running to your big battery bank. You know, if you got that running to your big battery bank, and then all the generator is for. Let me explain that. All the generator for is to run a regular car battery charger. That's all it's for. That's it. You have that thing plugged up to your battery bank, and it's just like you got solar, like you got your solar array is running, but it's not. And that'll keep you suffice during the night. It'll keep charging the batteries as you use it in the house, and you don't have to worry about because you have this is mathematical and calculated. So for the people that ain't doing it right now, you need to get on it because if you wait till something happens, you are going to fail. You're gonna be looking for somebody else's house to go to because you ain't gonna be able to handle it. You gotta be strong minded. You can't be lazy because you got to get up. This stuff is time sensitive. It's just like farming. If you want to know what farming feels like, turn your power off for a week and just use your solar. You're gonna know what farming feels like because it's time sensitive. You got to get up, pull this stuff, get it to charging, get it full, unplug it, let your big array charge. You wait too late in the evening for your. Right now, I should have been up, but man, I was tired. I came in late from work. I was tired. I came in late. I put extra gas in that vehicle on purpose, which I'm going to get to that right now and tell you why I did that. Now, for some apparent reason, before I left, I have an inverter in my vehicle. It's built in. I should have known better. I should have known better. But you live and learn. If these things don't happen, you don't know. So if it don't happen, you don't know. So the best thing for you to do is start doing it to see. But it worked before I left. It's weird. So I plugged up my cord, extension cords, and I plugged up my battery charger in the car to the inverter in the car in the house, and I had it plugged up to my battery. And I said, "Oh, I'm about to have a good night." That joker would not turn that battery charger on for nothing. It wouldn't do it. For some reason, a fluke of luck, blessing of God, whatever it was, it turned on the first time I did it. And I was charging the batteries from the inverter in my car. And he said, why would I use the inverter in my car? Because your car is nothing but a big generator. That's all it is. You got a big old motor and generator. That's it. Your alternator is kicking in a lot of current. And how you think this stuff inside your car works? The engine and motor is spinning over the alternator, which generates power. That's a big generator. That's how all the stuff in the car works. The motor is spinning. The alternator is putting out power, and everything in your car is working. That's why the inverter works. This is not hard. That's why it works. So why would I use the car over a generator? Why would I do that? The reason why I would use the car over the generator is because I can put about 15, 20 hours of gas in this car. This car will be running in the morning. Oh, he's exaggerating. No, I just did it. I know. It will be still running. And the purpose of me doing it was really for the battery charge, but didn't work. So I said, well, since that didn't work, I'll charge up my power station by then. And then I actually sat on the couch because I was going to turn it off after the charge, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I got up. It was 5. Oh, me thinking the light's gonna start coming out at 5 o'clock. A lie. I looked up sunrise. Sunrise went to 6:30. So I burned a little bit of gas out of it. Ain't no big, probably about $10 worth. And the biggest reason why I use the vehicle over the generator, and you got to make sure your car is in good running condition. To even try that, because you might wake up, that joker might be off, run out of water, or you got a lot of mechanical issues. Don't, please don't do that. Don't waste your time. But the biggest reason why I decided not to, well, I decided against it because I didn't have a small one. All my generators are freaking monsters. The main reason I decided against it is because they too noisy. A big one anyway. Your car is quiet as ever. Only time you hear that car, or mine, the only time you hear it is when the fans kick in, the cooler mode on. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. You see what I'm saying? That's the only time it kicks in. I'm just saying. So this video right here, hey, when I ask you to share a video so this can get out to other people, believe me, I've learned a lot in these last 3 days. And it's gonna help somebody. So I'm asking you to like this video. Spread this with everybody you can spread it with. Because somebody think that it's gonna be simple when the lights go out, and they gonna be in for a rude awakening. Right now, I don't have any heat, zero. I, let me back up real quick. Let me tell y'all something. Let's back this up real quick. Okay. I have family down the street. A lot of it. So Mississippi Survivor, won't you go down to your family's house? No, I'm not going nowhere. I ain't calling nobody neither. That's another thing. People always want to be cowardly and run out of something. It could be God testing you or your blessing. That's another thing. God could be testing you for your blessing to have a breakthrough or something. But you want to take the easy way out of it. And you miss your blessing. So many people wonder why they, for years, they still in the same hole in the same rut. It's because God puts you through a test and you will not even try to take the test. You just go around it or try to figure out some scheming way to do it instead of waiting on God and just doing what you got to do and putting in the work. Waiting on God, put in the work, and let God bless you and see what comes out at the end of it. So I'm going to ask you this here. What if all your family members wasn't alive? And you ain't got nobody to go to. I think about that all the time when something arises to me. I think about that all the time. And I'm saying, Mississippi Survivor, what if they weren't here? Do what you would do if they were not here. You hear me? So if you do what you do when they're not here, you'll be in more of a preparated state. You'll learn a lot more. But if you go run, the only time I'm gone is when I'm working because I still have to make money. Understand this. But I have not said one time to any family member that, hey, I ain't got no lights, it's cold, I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna come over y'all house. No, you stay your butt at your own. Because what if you had a family? And do you even take your whole family to nobody else's house? Some of you will. I mean, it's ridiculous, but okay. Some of you will. But I mean, why? That's the experience for everybody to learn and know. Because when that does come, I know it's coming. When it comes, y'all walk right through it because you already experienced it. You've already been through it. So you know what to do. You already prep for it. Like, for instance, I keep telling y'all, take out your preps and check them. As long as things are looking like a birthday cake with 32 candles on it with extra icings and caramel on it, you ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing. You hear me? Nothing. I'll get it tomorrow. Don't listen. I know I'll get it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And then whatever life issue throw at you, now you trying to, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Good, I got all these children, especially when you got kids involved. You definitely need to be somewhere prepping to make sure stuff is straight. Your people, some of these folks are just too dependent on the freaking system. Why? Too dependent on the system. This is ridiculous. Just because they provided something that's there. Too dependent on the system. Man, the system is gonna fail you. Even if the system don't fail, they're gonna turn it off and make it fail. That just missed somebody. I know I just missed somebody with that one right there. What do you mean? I missed you. There's so much foolishness going on, it's ridiculous. All I'm telling you is you need to have a light. Everybody need to have a lights out. Turn them freaking breakers off. Go over there and shut them off. Get your stuff together. If you want to shut them off and try for a day and you're like, oh my God, you're going to realize how much stuff you need and what you ain't got and what needs to be better. You're going to learn all that in the first 24 hours. I'm Mississippi Survivor. I do this all the time. This is what I do. So for it to catch me on in some areas and I still see something different I need to do, oh, I know y'all. I know there's a lot of people ain't even close to me already. They ain't did nothing. They ain't even got a thick blanket. You hear me? And I'm trying to, and A lot. You know what? You know what? I am not fit to pretty this up. Nope. I'm not gonna pretty it up because that's what's wrong with folks now. They too commercialized. Everybody want everything prettied up. I'm not prettying up nothing. You ain't gonna make it if you don't get out there and start doing something and start practicing. You ain't. I ain't never seen a police go into in a police station and just put on a shirt. Oh, you hired tomorrow. Okay, you gotta go to a police academy. You gotta go through training to be that. You can't just get them. Oh, I'm gonna be a police officer tomorrow. No. Same thing with this. You have to get yourself together. It's 42 degrees outside. I don't know what the temperature is in this house. All I know is cold as a mud. That's what I know. I know I got plenty of light. I have some very good light sources, and I'm telling you, when I recommend these lights, you need to get them. And I mean the brand that I'm talking about. I ain't talking about somebody else's brand or whatnot. I'm telling you what I know works. I've showed y'all them lights 1,000 times. Bluetooth light with the dome. Man, you know what? I got to charge. I'm gonna unchart plug this. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. You see it like Walmart. Just because it got a Bluetooth speaker, they charge about $30. But I caught these on sale when they brought in the new brand of this, the new update on this, which I seen them. It's a few minor updates on it, but I don't care nothing about that. I'm most concerned about the battery life. The battery life is amazing on this unit. It's got a nice little weight. That means I know it's got a decent sized battery. And the Bluetooth speaker is garbage. I don't care nothing about the Bluetooth speaker whatsoever. What I like about this light that really amazes me the most. I turned this light on last night when I came in from work at somewhere around about 12:01. I woke up this morning, it was still on. Matter of fact, I went back to sleep and got up at 10 o'clock and it was still running. And I could still brighten it up to the highest setting. This exact app most definitely help and save some people behind when they can't see. That'll help you. I'm gonna tell you something else. These headlamps from Harbor Freight for free, that's a gold mine for me. Cause you ain't gotta run around holding no flashlight. You turn this mud on and every corner you turn, that big head is there. You're gonna see what needs to be solved. I love it. It's recommended. I'm telling you. Let me put this back on charge. We're gonna continue this kickoff. Woo-hoo. Somebody, they don't know what to do. Need to talk to Mississippi Survivor. Hey. Okay. I'm back. Yeah. So this is an informative video. This is a special bulletin. Dum, 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 dum. Special bulletin. You hear me? Um, I packed down my buddy heater, and somehow it got damaged in storage. So therefore, I don't have one now. That thing is amazing when it works. That means pull out your preps and check your preps. So old Mississippi Survivor wasn't thinking about that at the time, and I didn't check it. I thought it was fine because I knew I had it. And I said, as soon as it got cold, I said, cool, I'm about to pull that boy out of there. I'm talking about the big buddy heater. Take the 2 cans. I said, boy, what's happening? Pull that boy out. Nothing. Damaged all kinds of stuff sitting on it, bent up, all kind of stuff. Nothing. So now Mississippi Survivor is sitting in 42 below weather in the house. And this is again why I say have some thick, good clothing to cover yourself up with. I'm talking about these skull caps, because a lot of people get sick through their head and their feet and their ears. Keep that stuff covered up. Keep that heat regulated in your head, around your head, on your feet. Don't be walking around barefoot and you already know it's cold. That is insanely stupid. Don't do that. You're trying to get sick. So that's not a good thing to do. That's the other thing that I learned. You definitely need to check them preps and make sure you straight. Meaning to make sure your heating source is accurate. I don't know me. And another thing, let me be clear. Why are you trying to heat up the entire house? You are one person. You're not going to be in the entire house. You're going to be in one room. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. My bathroom is in the bedroom. If you gotta go to the bathroom, just go to the bathroom. That little few minutes ain't gonna hurt you. Let out whatever tinkle you got, and go on back in your room. Well, it's warm at. And if you want to be in the other part of the house doing other things, put on some clothes. This thing is thick. I just put this on. I've been running around with a t-shirt on. I don't like to sleep in a lot of clothes. You know what I mean. It's just more comfortable to me. I'm sorry. I don't do the clothes. I mean, sleep. It's not comfortable. Sorry. So when you get up, I gotta put on a bunch of clothes. That's just me. I don't like shirts and stuff pulling all on me every time you turn. Nah, too much work. But this is a very. This is none like other. I mean, because I've done some 24-hour periods, but not no 3, 4, 5 days. It's like feel like lost and naked or something. But as far as lighting, I don't have a type of concern about lighting. I'm good. I don't really have any concern when it comes to cooking. I'm straight. I mean, as I showed you guys yesterday, I don't have a problem with cooking. I can cook. I can eat a hot meal. I ain't worried about that. I'm good on that. You know. But I do have a plan for later on. So I'm gonna be implementing this stuff while I'm out. What I'm gonna do is try to figure out some source of heat while I'm out today. Even if I had to try to go buy a butter heater, a big butter heater, I don't want the small. I want the big one because the big one has fans on it, and it pushes the air around, the heat around. So I'm thinking on that. I also have the 200-watt heaters, which I don't want to use that because that's pulling 200 watts off your power from your battery arrays. Um, I don't want no heating elements on my solar array, period, unless I got a monster of a battery backup, and I don't. Right now, my battery backup, I was at somewhere around about 12 deep cycle marine batteries, and my God, when I tell you, you have to be prepared, you have to be prepared because I, for some reason, feel like they was gonna last forever because they wasn't in a car. A lie. They still. Only difference is they in a car, you may get that 4, 5 years out of it somewhere in there in a car. In the house, because it's not getting that heavy startup from the car and the actual elements of being outside, you can get about 7 to 10. But around that ninth year, I'm gonna say around year number 7. If you make it to year number 7 with those batteries, when I tell you, you better start buying batteries right in the beginning of year 7 because they finna start failing. And I'm gonna tell you something else you don't know. When one battery in your array fails and your battery section fails, ain't none of them gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And I thought that was bizarre. I'm like, when it just work over top of it, it's like it's almost like a missing bulb in a Christmas light package. It's not gonna work. I'm just being honest with you. It's not gonna work. I've already dealt with it and I've seen it. It just won't work. I don't care what nobody else tell you. It's not gonna work. You're gonna have to take that battery completely out of it. What you're gonna do is get you a tester, take all the leads off, and test each battery until you find out which one is failing. And then 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, it's the one that won't take a charge. If it won't take a charge, then it disrupts the whole line of batteries when it won't take a charge. And now you're trying to figure out what's wrong with that. And the first thing people think, what's wrong with my solar on top of my house? Nothing. It don't do nothing to produce solar energy. Nothing. It's the batteries. If you have that kind of problem, check your batteries first. Because 9 times out of 10, that's what you're dealing with. You got a problem with your batteries. Yep. So not only is the no power, but now you're dealing with the cold. Mississippi survivors dealing with the cold as well as no power. Yep. But my spirits is high. Because shows as daylight, and the sun is not as particular as it was some days ago. So it's cold, and I believe it's kind of casty. It's because the other day it lit up this whole room through the curtains, so and it's not doing that today. So it's kind of casty. It's charging, but it's casty. So I know that hey, hurry up and get this stuff charged up, and turn the other stuff off so the solar can charge. I need to be looking for two things. I need to be looking for a big buddy heater and uh, a small generator, like a little $100 generator. Don't make me look on what you call it, Craigslist. We don't even have Craigslist where we are. I would have to drive probably 2 hours to pick something up. That ain't happening. So I gotta come up with something else. Most definitely. Clothing is very important. Blankets, thick blankets. I got the showroom floor blankets. You know, them jokers is super thick. I came across that because I worked at a furniture store before some years ago. It wasn't in my town. I was up in Ohio, and I was getting everything they had to offer, blankets, everything. I mean, my entertainment center came from the Virgin Islands. Uh, it's solid wood. They don't make a solid wood nothing no more. If they make some solid wood, I guarantee you can't afford it. You'll be making payments unless you got deep pockets. And by the time you get through paying it off with solid wood, it'll still stand. But they got some pocket board mess that's so high that you making notes on it. By the time the notes get paid off, you ain't got nothing but garbage. And you can look at your couches and tell if their couches are good or bad or not. Check your stitching. Flip your couch over. If you looked up under your couch and they just took a staple gun and stapled the material up under there to make it fit, you ain't got yourself nothing. If your couchway is paper light, you ain't got yourself nothing. Check the type of cushion you got. Because when you sit in it over a period of time, that stuff is going to be flat as on the wood. You got an ugly couch. Look for some weight. Some with some weight on it. Look for something with some wool inside of the for the cushion fabrics on the inside. Something that raises it back up on its own after you get off of it for some time. It'll raise itself back up. Something that just won't go flat. It's flat because you're on it. When you get off of it after a while, it'll get its generate itself back up. I've been through this. I might have went through this, so I know. That's why I like some of the stuff that Serta has. And that's a whole some. Like some of the stuff. Because it has good cushioning and I don't like the couch where you sit in and it take like 3 people to get you out when you so far down up in the couch. I don't like that. And I don't like no couch that's super low to the ground either. No. It's crazy. So Back to this, people. I got off over there. I don't even know how I get over there. See what I'm talking about? But I got over there. But I did help you with that couch though. So I'm looking for something for heating today. Now, some time ago I used my propane stove for heating, you know. But that's again, that's open flame. You have to be attentive to that. And I'm not gonna tell anybody to do that. That's all survival. I was doing that. And I'm gonna tell you something else too. When you're using that propane stove with that open fire, it works. But one thing, you better make sure that thing is not leaking around the bottom and you screwed it on right. Because you're gonna wake up with the stankiest scent of all time in your house and dangerous. It's like raw soup. It stank. And I mean, that's dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous. Yeah, that's leaking gases out into the air. So you'll know because you can light that thing and put like a. Nope, I'm not gonna tell you to do that. That's something I've been doing. You light it like put a any excess. If it's leaking out, you got a little flame. It'll tell you it's there. But don't do that. Don't do that neither. Because that mud could blow up. If you got your leak could be bigger than what mine was and blow your behind clean across the land. So don't do it. You hear me? I talked to some of my YouTube friends. Talked to Miss Shannon last night. Actually, talked to Miss Shannon for a while. She always had a lot of good information for me. Encouragement. I mean, she's a great encourager. Uh, I appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Shannon. Because I know you watch all my videos. Every one of them. I know. You be right there in the comment. I was like, man. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you. Be safe on the road. I know you got to get down there and do your thing. I ain't gonna say what that is because I ain't gonna. I don't put your business out there like that. Oh, if you want to say it, I'll let you do it, but I ain't gonna do it. But just be safe and hope you make it back in, make it home safe as well. Uh, like I said, guys, it's a timing situation when you're dealing with solar, especially when it's wintertime because your days are shorter and you get shorter time spans of period. So you should be up when the lights hit. When the light hit, gonna get up, start doing your thing, doing what you need to do. For as me, get on up, start turn off all the TVs or whatever TV you got on, turn it off, start charging everything up, get it charged up. Uh, for the people that doesn't know, you don't need power from your home or whatnot to. Well, let me rephrase it. Your internet will work without having grid power. You can plug it up to anything really. I mean, your power station, battery jumper. As long as that thing got enough power to power up that unit, you got internet. It's, I mean, even if you had what you call it, the one that plugs into the wall that with the cable line plugged up to it. Where the cable line comes in, you plug the cable line to it. That type of box, it don't matter. It's still gonna work because your internet is not out just because ain't no power. For the folks that don't know that, all you gotta do is provide electricity to the box. It's gonna work. For me, I got smart. I got 4 different types of internet, different carriers, and the newest one that I really like I got is a T-Mobile uh, home internet, but it's a cellular type of internet. That means I can unplug this box and take it anywhere and plug it up and have internet. I love it. It's awesome. Uh, what I wish they had done though that they didn't do, T-Mobile. I know I ain't that big, but if you happen to look at this, listen. If you can make that box with USB or SBC, SBC, USB-C, USB-C, where you can power up with a regular battery pack That would be awesome because then the people don't have to worry about running an inverter or generator or anything of that nature. All they would have to do is take a regular battery pack, plug it up, and power the entire unit, and they can run it all night off of that, depending on how many watts you make that thing. You know what I mean? But that's the only drawback that I don't like. You know what I mean? You have to plug it into a power station, and that thing is dropping something like 14, 15 watts is what it's pulling. It's pulling about 14 to 15 watts. Even on uh, my regular lead acid batteries, which will be on the jumper, my jumper power stations, on those batteries right there, you're looking at it'll run it all night long. Cause I turned on that 50% and it ran all night long. It was 10 o'clock when I woke up. It was still running. Uh, I guess when I was running around the house doing some other thing, it killed the entire 50%. Which again, guys, that wasn't good. At 50%, I should have stopped and charged it back up. But I started at 50%, and I didn't. I mean, it was already late, and I already slept to 5 in the morning. So I just ran it off what it had, which I still had to do that because I had another power station beside that one. I could have unplugged it, plugged it in that one. That's why I said you can't be lazy. You got to do it. That's something you got to do. You can't just be lazy. That'll screw up a lot of stuff and have you in the dark at night. So you gotta make sure you handle your business. I think to me the most important thing I'm thinking about just putting some pigtails on the battery cable on the car under the hood and put I don't know how many watts it'll take to run that battery charger. But I am gonna do the math and I am gonna try it today and see because if that works, I'm just gonna put some gas in the car tonight and I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run it off the inverter. I'm just gonna run just the battery charger. That's it. And it'll be studied as I use it. I ain't gotta worry about it running down because they'll constantly be putting power back into the batteries as I use the batteries to do whatever I need to do. You get it? For some people, there's something that you can do that you might ought to try. You could try to do. Trust me. Uh, don't forget your layering of clothing. Make sure you do that. You know what I mean? If you don't have a heat source, but if you have a heat source and you heat it up, you're fine. You're good with that. But still, I still have that because other parts of the house is cold, and you don't want to run from. Remember, especially if you're by yourself, you won't want to run from one part of the house to the other part of the house. If it's warm in that room, I would put on some clothes before I move and migrate to the other part of the house because you keep changing temperatures and your body, you're gonna get sick. So I knew I was in that room and I was under blankets and I was warm. So when I came in here and I was like, I'm feeling this coldness in my head, my arms. I'm like, I better put some on because next time I know I'll be sniffling and all that right there. And I know I don't have the greatest sinus at all. I'll pop some sinus pills like M&M's in a minute because I can't stand all that. But one thing, when your sinus start draining, it's draining. I don't care what you take. It's gonna drain until it's done draining. So if you try to avoid it, just put some clothes on. Trust me. So those are the major things that I was talking about. I don't know what else I'm gonna incur in this on this journey right here, but it's taught me a lot of lessons. What to do, what not to do, and another thing. Uh, uh, I'm trying to lose my train of thought on that, but it taught me a lot of things on what to do and what not to do, and what to do more of to be prepared for this type of situation. One is standing. Two, Be prepared. 3, pray. Get some direct knowledge and some, what I mean, so you have your business straight. I mean, you gotta make sure you got it right with the Father for sure. I mean, you gotta do that. And it's expanding my mind. Whether you think so or not, it's expanding my mindset tremendously because I'm seeing what I want to happen in my solar venture because I like using my things and I like using them. So if I like using them, then Mississippi Survivor, you need to start pushing and putting money in the area or where you need, what you want. If you want that thing running so you can do what you need to do, hey, you need to put some money in that area so you can do your thing. So you can use that as you see fit. You know, the grid is powering quite a bit. See, now what I'm really waiting on, and I guarantee you it's already out there. I am looking for a generator to put out, actually an alternator and put out enough power to run your house. To be honest with you, they really can. To be honest with you, I don't know how many of them they need, one or two, but it can. But I'm looking for a generator that's quiet and give you all the power you need and quiet. I don't even have to have a monster of a generator when it comes to that because if that generator is quiet and it can provide me power for all my basic necessities of charging and keeping my battery bank charged, I just keep adding batteries and just let that unit charge the batteries, and I'll build the array. I'll build a huge array and a huge battery bank, and let that thing just charge the battery bank. That's all it will be for, just to keep the batteries topped off. And then that way I can start branching out, have my array bigger, have it charged during the daytime. I don't have to use it during the daytime. Only at night, I can make my solar array bigger, make my battery bank bigger, and start branching out, put inverters in different parts of the house. Then let that invert those 12 volts into 120 volts. And I can do whatever I need to do. It's still mathematical. It's still mathematical. You still gotta. The only time it's not mathematical for me is when it's constantly getting a charge. When it's constantly getting a charge, I care less about mathematical. I start plugging up and doing whatever I feel like doing. Because no matter what, it's still shooting power. It's still charging the batteries. Unless, one thing, it's mathematical in one area. When you are using more than what's coming in, forgot about that. If you're using more than what's coming in, it's going to overrule what's coming in and still run the battery down. It might run it down slow, but it's still going to run the battery down. So disregard that. It was mathematical. See, you can't get out of the mathematical. I thought I could, but you can't. So you got to do the math on that. Make sure you're not using more than what's coming in. It's simple because I have one of my units that puts in 45 watts of power that's coming in. And if I'm using 55 watts of power, it's still going to run down, but it's going to run down slow. And if I want to charge it back up, I need to differential the ratio of how much power that's going in that's coming out, which I mean to make it a little bit more simpler. Make sure it's less coming out than what's going in. You got more going in, and you're still using your stuff, it's gonna charge it. But again, it's gonna charge slow. If you wanted to charge fast, go and charge back up to 100% and start all over again. Unplug the other stuff, turn it off, and let it go and do what it do. So that's my message for you guys for today. We already at about, we have 50 minutes on this video. As the day progress, I'll keep you updated, let you know what's going on and what I'm doing. This is, it was just lights out in the dirty South, a lights out in the Sip Town. For the people that don't know what the Sip Town is, that's Mississippi. Believe it or not, some people don't know what I'm talking about. Sip Town is Mississippi. Dirty South, that could be a plethora of different places because there's a lot of down south places. So I would have made it more Pacific when I said the Sip Town. I don't know any other that's close enough to be that Sip Town. So I'm getting ready to get off this thing. I need to try to go work somewhere and try to figure out a source of heating. Which when I'm in the bed with it covered up, I ain't cold no way. But jumping out from heat to cold again, it can make it sick. The most important thing to me, even more than the heat, is finding something to charge these birds that's not loud as six bobcats fighting in the attic. That's what I'm trying to find. Something that would charge this thing without a bunch of noise. And the only thing that I've found so far is my vehicle. That's it. I haven't found anything else yet. That's it. So I'm gonna try the inverter, a bigger inverter, and see what it run. The battery charger. That battery charger also runs at about 10 amps. Uh, I'm gonna do the math on that and see what that is, and I'll go from there and see what's up. But one thing for sure, I need you guys to like this video and spread this video like wildfire because we all need this training. This feels like boot camp for preppers. I hear and see a lot of people talking about uh, solar and prepping and all that right there, but anybody can talk about prepping and all that on the camera. I mean, but are you doing it? You know, if you don't do it, how do you know if you can make it? How you know that? How you know what downfalls that you're gonna run into? How you know what troubles you're gonna run into? You don't have a clue. You don't know until you do it. And I encourage you all to get out there and do it. Have at least a lights out 24 hours. If you hate bugs and you can't stand, it's cold anyway, so you got to worry about that too much. But if you do, man, do it in the house. You got a bigger house, man. Get you a tent, put you a tent in the house, and y'all use the tent, and so y'all know how y'all gonna use it. Sleep in the tent, body heat. They'll travel through there. Y'all stay warm. You'll be surprised. All that body heat, and you zip that thing up. That's a big plastic bomb. I'm just saying. Zip it up. Get you some air mattresses. Try that. I seen them with the air mattress inside the tent, with the whole air mattress in the tent, blow it up and use it. You know what I'm saying? And it's, again, why it's zipped up, it's gonna create some humidity from y'all, from the body heat. It's gonna create some humidity. What's it? And I don't like to be hot while I'm sleeping no way, so all I need to do is cover up. I ain't gotta be in no tent. Well, I'm just saying that that's a good. It's a good way to practice and also a fun thing for the children, so the kids will be having fun. You know, kids like building couches and stuff like that. Oh, it's the princess's castle and King Koopalin came down. Doo, doo, doo. I'm just saying, you got to make it fun for the kids, but at the same time, you're teaching them, and they're learning what to do in this situation. You see what I'm saying? If you dig, that's what I'm trying to get at. So this is a learning experience. And if you want to learn, go to the breaker box after you set up everything that you're gonna set up, that you're gonna do with your family, go to your breaker box and turn the light switches off. Because if electric from the grid is available, I bet you $1,000 you gonna use it. I will just let them two lights in the back there just stay on back there. That's all right. Now just let the washing machine go and wash the clothes over here, so that can be ready for tomorrow. Now that TV back there, that's cool, because I need to see my cameras outside in case a burglar out there now. No, you're gonna use it. I know, because I did it. Like, oh, it's the only well, I'm gonna go. Nah. I was all in the refrigerator getting cookies and you're gonna use it. Turn it off. Turn it off and have a real experience. This is a real experience. My electrician came and he fixed my meter base. The meter base is back on the house. But the electric company clipped the wires. So therefore, they are closed and I can't call them till Monday. And there's no guarantee they're coming on Monday. You know why? Because I called an emergency ticket 3 days ago. Do you know anybody in here knows what emergency means? That means right now. I need you to come on. Evidently, integers right now was 3 days. Again, I felt like a super dumb. What did it feel like? It's ridiculous. Except they had a much harsher condition. So I don't know how long that's gonna be. And I'm gonna say something that might sound ridiculous to you guys. I don't care. So you just gonna stay like that, Mississippi Survivor? Yep. Until they decide to do whatever they're gonna do. I am in zero rush because I've learned so much in these 3 days that needs to be done. It's pathetic. I've learned what not to do, what to do, and what to add. So again, I encourage everybody to have a lights out. And I mean all of them. Don't let me come around there and look in the window and you got 3 lights on the side and the microwave running over there in the corner. We go around the back of your house and take them two breakers, 2 breakers be in the back, aim a two, and you flip them and kill the whole house. I'm coming back there and kill the whole house. I ain't messing with y'all house. Mess around and get shot. I ain't doing it. But I'm just saying, I'm just being real. That's what you need to do. Shut the thing down and go ahead and do what you gotta do and make it a real learning experience. You'll be surprised. People have created and learned the most valuable things on the planet Earth today from pressure. You're being pushed and pressure. You won't have a choice. You're being pushed. You're being pressured. You don't have a choice, period. So therefore, you gonna either you gotta go forward. It ain't no back because you're being pushed and pressured the other way. Ain't no back nowhere else. There's nowhere else to go. You gotta go this way. You got to go this way. And so many things have been created in this world that way. Diamonds are created from pressure. If you're being forced this way, and that's the way you need to go, and then you don't have an answer, you're going to come up with an answer eventually. I don't know how long it's going to take it, but eventually you're like, okay. I want to get across this terrain. It's water. I can't swim. How can I get across this terrain? You are going to come up with a way to get across it sooner or later. You know why? Just the food and the water is on the other side. Or you're going to stay there and pout like a big baby and die. When you get through pouting and kicking and whining and throwing a temper tantrum, I've learned the same problem that was there when you started kicking and crying and acting a fool. It's going to be there when you get done. It's so many people do that with God. They kick and scream and act a fool. You is not fit to deter God with your temper tantrum or think you're going to tell him what to do. You crazy. No. It's going to be the same way when you get done. God is going to move when God moves. You can't tell him when to move. And when he do move, it ain't going to be the way you thought he was going to move. He going to move the way he want to move. And it's still going to work out. I love that about you, God. When you get done, it's still going to work out. That's why I ain't have no pressure on what I'm doing. I ain't tripping. I'm not pressed, but I ain't tripping about what's going on. Because if it's something for me to learn, I'm going to let it teach me. I'm not going to run for every battle and every storm that comes. I'm not running nowhere. I can walk right down the street and go eat and be in heat and chill. I'm talking about right down the street. But I ain't going to do it. I'm going to stay at Mississippi Survivor address and keep on doing what needs to be done. I can easily do that and learn absolutely zero, and then this problem come along again. I'll still be dumb as a box of rocks. So, people, get yourself together, prep, pray, take action, and stand still. Now, how can you do that at the same time? You can. Stay in your situation, but take actions toward the situation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You understand? I'm not doing this for my health. I am doing this to help somebody. Somebody that needs some help. Somebody need a little push. Somebody asleep that needs to be wakened. This is not for my health, people. Somebody, if we can give me one person out of this whole thing, just one, I'm good with that. One person that sees this and wakes up and say, hey, I need to do something. Hey, I have a family. Hey, I'm a single woman. Hey, I got 5 kids, 3 kids, whatever the case may be. Hey, my sister passed away. I'm taking care of her kids and my kids. Oh, it can get real ugly. I see it. So I'm going to start doing something on my own. I ain't got no man and I got 5 kids. Don't matter. Pray and get to work. Pray and get to work. God will send you somebody. And even if God don't send you nobody, he'll open so many doors until you don't even need that. You don't even need that. He'll open so many doors for you to get what you need and place people in your life in certain places that you'll get everything you need, even without that. You know why? You're like, well, I want that. Okay, cool. God knows you want that. But God wants you to depend on him as well. Him first, God first. And when you do that, then right after all that right there, then he's going to see somebody. Because you revenued and recognize him first. You understand? These things are actions. It's not a game. It's action. You have to take some action. So we're at an hour and 5 minutes. I'm finna get out here. I'm let my stuff in the charger and I'm finna get in it. So y'all gonna see a lot of older survivors. You understand? But this video right here, like it, share it, share it, share it some more, share it again, and share it again. You understand? I love y'all. I hope y'all get some out of this, out of my own experience of going through this. I hope you guys get something out of this. A friend of mine has already went through this. It took her a week and a half. Miss Danya took her a week and a half to get her power back on. Now being in day 3, day 1, or when I'm gonna tell you when these things initially happen to you, you're looking for results immediately. But if you stand in the storm, after a while, for me, after being in the storm for 3 days, I don't even care because now my mind is like, I don't know how everybody else works, but the way I work is now my mind is provisioning itself to say, hey, what can you do? How could you make this situation better without the grid? Period. How can you just go around it all together? Just bump it. Don't even worry about it. How could you get around it? My mind is in that state, but I'm gonna get it all figured out though. But I do definitely thank her for her support. Um, and Shannon, thank you for your support as well. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I ain't gonna hold you. I just said all I can say on that. I mean, is you gonna do it again? If you don't, feel sorry for you. If you do, great. I mean, you're taking one step toward the right way of doing what needs to be done. So, whether you do it or you don't, I love you anyway. I hope you make it. I hope somebody pulls in and fills in the gap that you left open to help you survive. Because we don't need a war, and we don't need a natural freaking hurt. What you call it? EMPs. That is so far away from worrying about is ridiculous. That's the last thing. If they do an EMP, I'll be shocked. I'm like, dude, everyday life is an EMP. What do we need an extra one for? You looking for something for years and that joker never show up? That's just like looking for a burglar every day. Why would you look for that? You ain't got nothing else going on. You probably about to get divorced and you worry about an EMP. Then be worried about fixing your marriage. Do that. Worry about fixing that. And y'all together start prepping and getting things together for y'all life, making sure get your house in order. I'm gonna say that. And I'm gonna leave that alone. Get your house in order. I love you guys, Mr. Survivor. I'm about to get out this thing, man. Remember, prep, pray, and take action. Prep, pray, take action. Prep, pray, take action. I said prep, pray, and take some action. You understand? Mr. Survivor, I'm out. I love you. I'll get at you later.